Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've got a mock test video for you guys today with a good friend of mine. He's called Mr. Puns. Right, so Mr. Puns, have you passed your driving test?
Yeah, I passed in 2019.
Yep, so he's had a driving licence for about over 3 years. As soon as he passed his test, he went out and bought an automatic car, a little Nissan Micra. So he's not actually used to driving a manual car. So we're going to see how he gets on today after 3 years of driving in an auto. See how he gets on with changing gears and using the clutch pedal. So we're just going to do a little mock test to see whether he's still up to test standard. Right, Mr. Puns, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, so don't drive yet. We've got the engine on because we've got the AC running just to so the windows don't steam up. Let me just explain to you how this driving test is going to work. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow the road ahead at all times unless road signs or road markings state otherwise. Okay. If I need you to turn either left or right, I shall let you know with plenty of warning. So if I don't say anything, you just keep following the road ahead.
Okay, no worries. Yep.
At some point I'm going to get you to do a manoeuvre. I might get you to do the emergency stop as well.
Okay.
Get you to do some independent driving as well. Quite clear on that?
Yep, all clear.
Any particular questions you've got for me before we start driving?
No, I think everything is fine, yep.
Everything hunky-dory, yeah?
As they say, yes.
Right, so I've got a question for you though. Right, Mr. Puns.
Yep.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is let's test your eyes. Can you read me the number plate on that van over there? The grey van or the silver van?
WR12KRG.
Right, okay, so we've established your eyesight's good enough for the driving test. Right, explain to me how you would go about checking your brake lights before you begin your journey. So how do you check your brake lights?
Brake lights?
Yeah, to make sure they work.
Well, that's a good question.
This is. What's the answer?
Brake lights. Would you check the reflection from another car from the back?
You can do. Okay, so any other method?
That's the only one I can really think of at this moment in time.
Okay. Right, okay, so we're going to begin the drive today.
Okay.
With following the satellite navigation. Right, best of luck, mate. So we're going to move off when you're ready.
Okay.
And just keep following the road ahead. We're going to turn left when you get to the end of the road. Okay. And then after that, just follow what it says on the screen. Mr. Puns makes some good observations here, but he should have checked his blind spot again before he moved off. Now, some examiners would fail you for not doing this. So just left here at the giveaway lines.
Take the next left onto Park Road.
And then from this point on, we're just going to be following the sat-nav.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Witten Road B361.
Makes good use of his mirrors, checking the middle and the right before he indicates to turn at the end of the road. We've arrived at a closed junction. Good observations made here by Mr. Puns before he emerges. Not the best of weather we're having today, Mr. Puns.
In a quarter of a mile, continue onto Bell Road.
Picked a really nice day for your mock test.
Yeah. Typical.
How are you finding the car after not driving a manual for so many years?
bit peculiar, but
Peculiar.
you get used to it.
Good way
I
of
guess.
describing it. And obviously you're used to driving a smaller car as well. How are you finding the size of this car?
It's the view, isn't it? You know, it's trying to get used to everything again. But I guess it's all practice, right?
It is indeed. Well, you've been driving for about 3 years now, so hopefully you should be okay. Let's see what this mock test result tells us.
Yeah, be interesting.
It will be interesting, yes.
Then turn left onto Grove Road.
Yeah, I mean, all them years ago when you passed your test, you actually did very well, didn't you? How many faults did you get?
I got 2 in total.
Only 2, see? So proves that you're a good driver.
We're making a left here, isn't it, Kev?
Got to follow the sat-nav. Got to follow the sat-nav.
At this
What's it
point,
telling
I
you?
gave Mr. Punz a driving fault for use of handbrake. He seems to be a little bit confused about what he's doing. It just takes far too long to move off at the traffic lights.
Yeah, that's right.
Straight ahead.
Following the road
My
ahead.
mistake.
Take the next left onto Grove Road A315. In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Hospital Road.
Mr. Punz now commits a serious fault. Notice how he approaches the traffic lights in the left lane. As he goes around the bend, he moves into the right lane without any mirror checks. He should have checked his mirrors to make sure it's safe before he moved lanes.
Bit of traffic here.
Yeah.
Typical Hounslow.
Turn right onto Hospital Road. In 200 yards, turn right onto Bath Road A3006.
Mr. Punz ends up going the wrong way at the traffic lights. Don't worry if you do this in your driving test, because you can't fail unless you do a serious mistake or a dangerous mistake.
Wrong lane, aren't I, Kev?
Well, you do what you need to do. Do what you need to do.
Right onto Bath Road
I don't know
A3006.
whether to just continue. Do I just continue this way or?
With your mock test. Okay, no worries, Mr. Punz.
Mile, turn left onto Wellington Road North A3063.
Okay, obviously we've realised that we've gone the incorrect direction, so don't worry about the sat-nav for the moment. I'm going to just redirect you.
Okay.
Another driving fault here for Mr. Punz. We're in a 20 zone, but he manages to hit 24 miles an hour. Luckily he notices and slows down.
Turn right at the traffic lights, please. So turn right at the traffic lights.
Turn left onto Wellington Road North A3063.
Here Mr. Punz picks up a driving fault for responding to the traffic lights. He should have planned ahead really, and therefore would have been able to stop a little bit less harsh.
Just going to turn off the sat nav now because I'll be directing you for the time being.
Okay.
Coming up to a set of traffic lights, I'd like you to turn right at the traffic lights.
Okay.
Another fault here for Mr. Punz for lane discipline. He's not quite positioned correctly in the left lane and has a bit of the car overhanging the middle lane. He continues to drive up the road for some distance before he finally decides to move back fully into the left lane.
Going straight on, please, at the traffic lights.
Okay.
Mr. Punz does really well here. He keeps a good distance away from the cars in front. You should always keep a safe distance of 2 seconds in the dry and 4 seconds in the wet.
So much traffic on this road. Right, so what we'll do is we'll take the next road on the left, please. Next road on the left. Let's just avoid some of this traffic. So when it's safe to do so, I'd like you to find a safe place anywhere along this road, pull up on the left.
Once again, great mirror checks here from Mr. Punz. Notices the vehicle behind, gives a signal, lets them know that he's going to pull over to the left.
Thank you, Mr. Punz. When you're ready to do so, continue to drive.
Here Mr. Punz does his 6-point check, but again he should really check the blind spot once more before he moves off.
At the end of the road, turn right. Follow the road ahead when you get to the mini roundabout. Take the next road on your right hand side, so the next road on the right, Cranmore Avenue. Up on the left behind the van. I'm going to get fairly close to the van, so you need to stop about 1 car length away from the van. That'll do fine, thank you very much. When you're ready to do so, continue driving.
Brilliant. This time Mr. Punz takes a look into his right blind spot before he moves off.
At the end of the road, turn left.
Once again, good mirrors before signals. Considering Mr. Punz took his test over 3 years ago, pretty surprised he's still managing to check his mirrors before giving signals.
Take the next road on the left. safe to do so, I'd like you to find a safe space on the safe spot to pull over on the right hand side. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get you to reverse backwards now for about the length of 2 cars, so 2 car lengths, keeping your side of the car reasonably close and parallel to the curb. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, about 2 car lengths. Off you go when you're ready then. Thank you very much, Mr. Burns.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, when you're ready, drive on again.
So here I've given Mr. Puns another driving fault. Although he checks his left blind spot, he really needs to check it again just before he moves away.
Take a left turn at the end of the road. When it's safe to do so, show me how you would operate the rear demister control. The rear demister control.
This one here?
Nope.
The demister.
The rear demister obviously is going to be different from the one in your car, but let's see if you can figure out where it is.
I'm trying to think when
whilst
you're
keeping safe control of the car.
When you're referring to a demister.
Yeah, so on a cold winter's day when your back windscreen's misted up, what do you press to get rid of the mist?
I think now. Too busy concentrating on the driving.
That's alright, no worries. Just going past Brentford's football training ground here.
Yeah.
Or you've put your fans out there. Take the next road on the left hand side, so next road coming up on the left, Isleworth Avenue. Pull up on the left, just somewhere by this tree, thank you very much. That's great.
Still want to know what the which button to press for the demister? Or
do you know where it is? The rear demister control?
Would it be this one here?
No. Let's leave that one alone then.
Okay.
Right, thanks Mr. Puns.
No worries.
That's the end of your driving test. Relax, take off your seatbelt, chill out. Right, Mr. Puns, what do you reckon? Do you reckon you passed or failed after all these years? 3 years later, you've now done another test. Do you reckon you would have got the result that you were looking for?
I believed I failed on this one.
You believed you failed? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so why? Why do you think you failed?
Well, I took the wrong turning when I should have been in the right-hand side.
Right, okay, so obviously you're referring to the sat-nav.
Sat-nav,
okay,
yes.
So yeah, the sat-nav told you to turn right at the traffic lights.
Yeah.
You went left, but actually you wouldn't fail for that because you haven't actually done anything dangerous there.
Okay.
So it would have been far worse if you decided, all right, I'm in the wrong lane,
Yeah.
let me try and push my way back into the right hand side lane,
Yeah.
because then obviously that would have interrupted the flow of traffic. That would have come down to you being, just bad awareness and planning.
Yeah.
Okay, so where you turn left at the traffic lights, yeah, you went the wrong way, but no, you wouldn't fail for that. You don't even get a fault for that.
Okay.
Okay, so yep, anything else that you were concerned about during your drive?
Knowing what a demister is? Or?
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's one of the things you need to do in the driving test is to get the show me. Well, the examiner will ask you a show me question.
Yeah.
Whether you answer it or not just depends on whether you know the answer. Okay, so on your occasion you did not know the answer, but again you haven't done anything dangerous. So yeah, no fault record. Well, I've given you a fault for not knowing where it is, but it's not dangerous or serious, so no, you haven't failed on that.
The manoeuvre?
Yeah, what was wrong with your manoeuvre?
The car wasn't in line? Or
With the curb on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, you weren't perfectly parallel to the curb on the right hand side. You did reverse 2 car lengths, but it was reasonably parallel and reasonably close. I mean, that's all the examiner's asking for, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not like a professional stunt driver or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, reasonably close, reasonably parallel.
Yeah.
That would be fine in the driving test. So no faults there. I mean, what I would have improved on the manoeuvre is the observations. So before you start reversing back, have a good look around the car, check everywhere, make sure there isn't.
So to check most of the mirrors?
Yeah, check your mirrors, check your blind spots. Just make sure it's safe before you go back. Also, when you move off, you checked around, but you didn't check your right blind spot again before you moved off. So there was a little delay. You checked it.
Yeah.
A few seconds later, you're moving away. Okay, so you want to be checking that blind spot just before you move off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've marked it as just a driver fault there, but obviously something that you would have to bear in mind.
Yeah.
You did actually fail, but not for any of the reasons that you mentioned. Shall I tell you where?
Yep.
Okay, so what it is, where's the road? Okay, so do you know Bell Road?
Bell Road, yeah.
So we've gone past Bell Road, we've turned left by the kebab shop.
Okay.
We've gone around the bend, so it bends round to the right hand side.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, and then you're coming up to a set of traffic lights. It's a pedestrian light controlled crossing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone round the bend. Okay, so which lane were you in originally when you went round that bend?
Left.
Okay, once you'd finished going round the bend, what lane did you end up in?
Back in the right, wasn't I?
Yeah, how comes? Okay, so you kind of changed lanes as you were sort of like going around the bend. Okay, and there was no clear and obvious mirror check to make that I saw you do to make sure it was safe for you to change lanes. So at any moment, whilst the car was drifting over to the right hand side, what could have happened?
Could have hit.
Yeah, I mean there could have been a car coming around the other in the other lane. Yeah, you might not have noticed because you haven't checked the mirrors. Something smaller like a motorbike, coming around the bend, going faster than you. If you're switching lanes there without checking first, that could have been an accident as well. Okay, so that's where you would have failed. If that was your actual driving test, you would have got a serious fault there. That's the only thing that I can think of that you would have failed on if that was an actual test. Okay. With regards to the rest of your drive, yeah, there's a few mistakes here and there, but nothing crazy apart from that mirror check on that bend. Right then, Mr. Puns, so do you want me to go through some other things with you?
You could do, yeah, sure.
Right, so we had a little bit of a fumbling sort of moment, so before we joined Bell Road at the traffic lights.
Right.
Not sure what you were doing. I've marked it as a handbrake fault, but yeah, you just looked like you couldn't release the handbrake. Do you remember? Or you couldn't get in gear or something.
Yeah.
And then you had a little situation at the traffic lights where it turned amber and then you had to brake really sharply to stop.
Yeah.
Again, you've got a bit of an awareness and planning issue there. So when the lights are green, anticipate they might change red. Okay. Once you get to a certain point, you know it's going to be unsafe to stop.
Yeah.
Carry on going.
Keep going.
Okay. If you need to slow down and stop, then you've got to check your mirror first.
Mirrors, yeah.
Make sure there's nothing behind you, because if you're putting on your brakes suddenly like that and there's someone behind you, you might get hit up the bum.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's that one there. Traffic lights, we've talked about that one already, talked about that one already, talked about that one already. Use of speed, okay, so we've gone the wrong way following the sat nav. When you turn left at the traffic light, what's the speed limit?
20.
It's 20, yeah, okay, so you were creeping over. Okay,
20.
I think you realised, well you did realise, and then you slowed back down again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that saved you from getting another serious fault there. Had you have carried on, you know, hitting 26, 7, 8 miles an hour in a 20 zone, I'm sure the examiner would give you a serious fault there. The other one was just a little bit of a lane discipline issue. So we've turned right onto the dual carriageway.
Okay.
So you're on the A4.
Yep.
There's 3 lanes there, so you're in the left lane, which is fine, but you're not actually in the lane properly. So you've got your side of the car slightly over the line,
Right,
just a little bit. I think you kind of corrected it as we got closer to the traffic lights. Maybe that's just you getting used to the size of this car, because obviously you're not used to driving this car. Yeah, but overall I would say that was a good drive. You know, after 3 years of
Not too bad overall,
passing your test, you haven't really picked up any bad habits. Your mirror checks are still on point. You're still doing your mirror checks. Overall your speed control is good, your car control is good, your observations are nice. So yeah, that's that then. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. That's the end of my video with my mate Mr. Puns. We might bring him back another day because he might want to, you know, get revenge on me and pass the next one. But anyway, remember to subscribe, like, and yeah, hit the bell button. Cheers guys, see you on the next one.
Bye bye.